What is the difference between fate and destiny? Or is it the same thing?
And you are just stuck along for the ride.
Life would have been very, very different, for sure.
I think it's a magical thing.
What we want our life to be like.
And if it's a real thing or is it a forced thing?
A self-fulfilling prophecy.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
You good?
Yeah?
Good. Some things have happened, is how we're going to put this, and made me think, and it's a subject I want to talk about. We've discussed this a little bit. What do you think of fate or destiny? Do you believe we're bound or we make our own decisions?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Do you?
I do.
How? Give me an...
I think that overall, people can have a fate, like they're fated for something. I mean, we're all fated kind of to things like death.
Well, we can't help death right now.
Well,
in this world.
yeah. And then, we're also able to make decisions as to what we want our life to be like. Some of us are really more motivated and driven to make those things happen. And some of us, it's just happens for them. Like they don't have to do anything about it. It's just how their life is played out. I kind of look at it like this. So there are people that really want to be famous, right? And there are certain ones that do everything that they feel like they should by the book. They're working hard, they're learning, they're in the craft, they're networking, they're auditioning, whatever it is, to get to that point of what they ultimately really want in life. And then there are those that are like, it just happens.
Okay, that's a good example.
They may or may not think about it. Might be something that's like, oh, that'd be cool if it happened, but I'm just kind of going along, whatever, and then bam, it happens for them. So you kind of look at that like, well, they were like fated or destined for that to happen to them. It just came. It just came to them. Whereas others, it's kind of like, well, maybe their destiny isn't to get there, or maybe their fate's not to get there. So I definitely think that that's a real thing.
It's a real thing?
Yeah.
Good. I kind of feel the same. I think there is, like you said, I believe there's certain things and certain people that are just born. And what I think, it's a magical thing. So there is, the fate of the people who are born, and those people are born with something inside them that is like, you're going to be a musician, or you're going to be an actor, or you're going to do a football player, or something like that. And from the time they've had this drive in time they can't explain, and they just start working towards it, and they're just like, no matter what, I'm going to do this. And they just put in the efforts and work, like you're saying, they work. Everything they do is to do this, and they do it, and they're really good. It's all these little magical things that have to happen in order to get someone to be that, and they become a legend. So it's like, that's the 1% of the 1%, 0.1% of people in the world, but that does happen. So I believe those things happen. There's, and the other side, you just said, is the same thing. There's people that never think about it, and then someone's like, oh, you should be an actor, and next thing you know, they just float through it and are a massive actor. And just, I don't know what happened. One day I was at this store and somebody's like, you should try this, here's a number. And I went and I did it, and I've been doing this ever since.
Yeah.
And they're a legend.
Right.
And so it's just like, in this world, we get both of those. So it's really hard to determine if it's a real thing or is it a forced thing.
Well, okay.
Okay.
What's the difference? Because we talked about this before. What is the difference between fate and destiny, or is it the same thing?
They're different.
Okay.
They're different. They're slightly different. So the best way the analogy, I guess I would say, is that if fate would be if you are in a passenger of a car and you're just going to go there no matter what, something's going to take you there. Destiny is you're the driver of the car. You're going to go to a place, but you can make decisions within that travel, within that drive. Does that clear it up a little bit? Mm-hmm. So fate, no matter what happens, these things are going to happen to you, and you're going to get there. No matter what you do or what's going on, you are just stuck along for the ride. Destiny is you can make some decisions, you can make some changes, but pretty much ultimately you're going to end in that same spot. Mm-hmm. I'm a believer of, like, I think it's more destiny personally than fate. I think every change and everything you make will push you wherever you go in life. I think there's always a fork. I think in people's lives, this is my own opinion, and I don't know how you feel, but in my life, I feel like there's a couple pinnacle forks in the road where you can look back and be like, if I would have went this way, my life would have been completely different.
Oh, yeah.
Or if I did make this hard decision and then it got me where I wanted to go. I'm also a believer that every little thing you do every day is a butterfly effect. And if you made a right turn one day and went to 7-Eleven, you missed that car wreck that would have killed you. Stuff like that. Are you on that page? You think those things?
I definitely agree with that, because I have many points in my life where it's like, if I had done this differently, if I had not done that, life would have been very, very different for sure.
Do you think those times were at that moment in that time for you, you knew that it was a big decision, knew that all those were a hard choice, or some of them don't seem that big and they had a big outcome? What do you think? You think they're all known or not known?
No, I think mine were pretty big.
Oh, yours were all pretty big, so you knew you were making a big life change at the point. Okay. I don't think all of them were for me. I think all of them were just, I'm going to do this and things are going to happen, and let's see what happens. And looking back, I'm like, holy shit. I didn't know. I kind of knew that they were a change, but I didn't know they were that big of a change. One theory and one thing people share, have you ever avoided something or focused on something and accidentally made it happen because that's kind of what I mean.
Oh, like manifested it?
Kind of manifested it, yes, kind of, like by accident.
I don't think you manifest by accident.
Well, you do, because there's let's say you...
No, you bring into your reality what it is that you're aware of, whether it's negative or positive, whatever. It's coming if you're focused on it.
Okay.
So, yeah, you're aware of what you're doing.
You were saying even like subconsciously you're aware.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if someone said something and it set a seed, and then they kind of focused on that.
Yeah, it's a self-proclaimed prophecy.
Oh, good way to put it. So, okay, self-proclaimed prophecy. That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like Harry Potter. You know what I mean?
Oh,
if Voldemort had never heard that prophecy, he never would have gone after, what he thought was going to be this kid that, started the whole thing.
That's kind of true.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's true. Maybe that's what prophecies are in general, though. Maybe they only happen because they're written. If you could know your destiny, would you want to know your destiny?
Oh.
Would you want to know little things, or would you want to just know the outcome?
Well, the outcome is death.
Yes, that's the second time you said it. We all know that we're going to die. As humans, there's nothing we can do about that in this realm that we know.
To me, that's the only short thing.
Yes.
If someone was like, your destiny is to be here and do this thing, I'd be like, is it? Maybe that sounds awful, and I don't want to do that. So, is it my destiny? Can I not change that?
Just going to go back to what we just said before that.
Because I'm driving the car if it's my destiny.
If someone said that, would that make it happen? Because you say you didn't think about it, and then now that's on your mind, and you'll keep seeing it. It's the red car theory. If you've never heard of the red car theory, it's like you never really see red cars, or you never really pay attention to something until you're looking for it. And then now it's in your head, and now you'll see every red car everywhere you go. Like someone's like, your destiny is to sell shoes. And next thing you know, you just keep seeing these signs for shoes on sale. We need a shoe salesman, something like that, and it's just like haunts you.
Yeah.
No.
No,
you don't want to. So you don't want to know your destiny.
No. I want it to be a surprise.
Yeah, I don't want to know either. The only thing I would like to know is if they were like, this is your destiny, but you have to be here or do this to make it happen or not happen. A little guidance. Does that make it your destiny? If you can go out and...
Well, destiny, as we determined, is your choices.
It's not your fate.
Yeah.
Would you rather have fate or destiny? Would you rather have no option?
I would rather have destiny, because fate's like, it doesn't matter what I do. This is the outcome. I have no control over it.
Even if you know, like you were saying, some of the prophecies, even if you know, it still somehow makes it to its end and gets there.
Yeah. So you said at the beginning of this video, that there was something that triggered this for you. What was that thing?
It was just, we were having a conversation, and we were thinking about like all the stuff we've done and all the people, the stuff that we talked about, something where that happens to people. Like there are some people in the world that it seems like that was their destiny, that was their fate. They were born to do these things, and it's musicians or whoever, because what stuff we're into, the art and the musicians, music is big on me. So that's always like, man, there's some people, and me coming up, like that was not how I felt. I did not feel like I am destined to do this thing or my fate is to do these things, and nothing was, even though the path is not always easy because it's your fate or destiny. Sometimes you have to prove yourself and push through these things and work really hard. But I mean, I don't think it was destiny, but I think some people work really hard no matter what. They know. And I think there's something internally that they know no matter what, and they just keep going. And in the end, that's what they do.
So I'm not going to agree with you there.
That's fine.
I'm not going to agree with you
to.
there, because I think my perception of it is maybe that drive, the things that you're looking for, maybe you're attaining them, but in a way that looks a little different. That looks different
That's
than
a good way to put it.
What your grandiose vision was. Like you wanted to have all these things, this, that, the other, this particular career, this kind of notoriety, etc. Maybe you have that on a much smaller level or in a different way or a different field even than you were initially craving. But you still have that somewhere. And maybe that's your destiny, or that's what you were meant to do. And you're refusing to look into that, or you just don't see it.
That's a good way to put it.
Because a lot of people don't see
the whole book.
They can't see the forest for the trees.
Yes, 100%.
They're so focused on it.
Yeah, because most things, and this is one thing I realized, is most things is like, it's a cool job, but it's still a job. No matter what you're doing, as cool as your job is, as hard as you work, there's always be things you don't want to do that come into that, because that's just handling life. That's just life. So I think a lot of times those things can really push people to be like, the glamorous and the cool stuff that I thought this was going to be is only 2% of the actual work that it is. And some people love that. Some people will love the work. Some people will love every aspect of it, and those are the people I think they were meant to get there. And I do agree with you. If some people can get to where they were supposed to get, and that they can handle, and they love where they are, then that's fine. There's no good or bad here. This is just like how I see it. I don't think, not everyone is made to be at the top of the pyramid. There's different levels of this pyramid.
It's a pyramid.
Yeah, there's different levels, but some people at the third level always think they were supposed to get at the top, and you never were, like you said. That's how I was trying. You just never were supposed to get there. But there are people, I would like to believe, that had an opportunity to get there, and they somewhere along the line faltered, or they just were never around the right situation to get to where they wanted to go. There's a lot of chance in it too, in your destiny part.
Yeah, destiny is all chance.
It's all chance, yes. You can drive, you miss a turn, you're screwed.
Are you screwed? Maybe just reroute it. GPS likes to reroute.
That is true, you can reroute. So if you don't get where it's, make the best of the situation no matter what.
It could end up that, yes, you'll get there, but it'll just look completely different. The drive will look completely different than you thought, and it might take a little longer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of it is a trial of your determination and your personality. Because one of the biggest things we've learned in almost everything we've ever done, we've said this, to get where other people can't go, you got to mostly do shit that other people won't do.
Yeah.
You've been through some hard shit like that, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, not enough. Yeah, that's what I get. Yeah. So let us know what you think of the fate or destiny, or if you have any stories or relatable stuff at all, leave a comment, try to subscribe. We're going to do more of this stuff. We like our conversations between us.
We certainly do. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video.